I don't know. I have to wait until it comes up on Twitch first. That will tell me that I'm live, and I am live. All right, great, and the stream looks pretty good. I have not done this for quite some time, so I'm going to have to apologize in advance because I don't know how this is going to go. Hopefully it goes well. I actually just recorded a Road to Regionals episode, so I'm already in the mood to play the game. So probably going to stream for about like an hour or so, and then I'll post it up on YouTube. Using my favorite team that I've used all season, which is really fun. Strictly, I mean, there's a best of 3 variant of this team, and then this is my best of 1 variation of the team, where I have Encore on Golduck and just Hydro Pump, which is pretty silly if you think about it, because you would want Scald over Encore in a best of 3 because you don't want to miss the Hydro Pumps when you need to hit a move to KO a Pokemon. But we're just going to be having some fun right here. Team's going to be Tapu Koko, Golduck, Pelipper, Metagross, Assault Vest Metagross, Bewear. Beware of Bewear. You don't want to fuck with Bewear. You really don't want to mess with Bewear. It can... This thing, now, this is the... I take no credit for making this team. Andrew David with an S made this team. And this Bewear at -1 can OHKO a Snorlax. At -1 can OHKO a Snorlax. And can take a hit in return by a +6 Snorlax, which is absolutely insane. Barring a +6 Giga Impact, but you should not be running Giga Impact if you're running a Belly Drum set. Alright, usually when you're running Giga Impact on a Snorlax, you should be running Pulverizing Pancake, which I'm probably going to end up running with this Mimikyu Snorlax team. With I'm going to probably put Wood Hammer on the Mimikyu too. That would be pretty funny for like a best of 1 team in like a Premier Challenge, where like a best of 1 mid-season showdown. And the last Pokemon's going to be a Alolan Muck, which is always really clutch. I love Muck. It just wins me so many games, and it does so well against the Tapus. All right. Just gonna hop right into this. There's no delaying. I think I was using this team for the past 2 days just to mess around with, and I think I'm like 6-2 with this team right now. Just in the past 2 days of playing with it, so hopefully we can do pretty well right here. Records, of course, not too great, but you can't really do too much about that when you're trying to test teams out on your cart and throw a couple things together to practice for this weekend's mid-season showdown. So let's see how this goes. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long to find the player. So we find Anthony from France, 1580, and he's going to have a team of Mimikyu Snorlax. So Speak of the Devil right there, and a Marowak, which is pretty interesting considering the fact that he does have a Mimikyu on his team. But I forget who was running a Mimikyu and a Marowak. It was the past 2 weekends at regionals, and I did see this at Hartford. I think it's Brady Smith who was running a Mimikyu and a Marowak. The Tapu Fini and the Kartana and the Persian. Persian's pretty cool. I've been practicing with that on my mid-season showdown team. So this team is pretty good against my team. It has the Kartana. I'm not going to be able to do too much to the Fini. He has a Marowak. Like this team literally hard counters the shit out of my team. I'm definitely going to bring Bewear because it hits 3 of the Pokemon on his team really hard. Not so much the left side of his team. I don't even think I'm going to want to bring that in the front because I feel like he's going to lead like Kartana Fini. He doesn't lead Kartana Fini. He's definitely going to lead Mimikyu Snorlax. So on that off chance that he does that, I'm going to bring the Bewear in the front. Who else do I want to bring in the front? I'll bring the Koko in the front so I can Volt Switch out. I'm going to bring the Pelipper in the back so I can get up the rain. Question is, now who do I bring? Do I bring the Metagross? I could possibly switch on a... I don't know. I'm going to bring the Muck. The thing keeping me from bringing my Metagross right here is because I can't really hit it... I can't hit the Kartana hard. He's got a Alolan Marowak. He's got a Mimikyu, which can actually go for the Never-Ending Nightmare, especially if it's Shadow Ball. Into my Metagross, which actually wouldn't KO it because I'm Assault Vested. I forgot about that, but it's going to go for the Mimikyu and the Fini. Pretty interesting lead. I'm not getting up the rain for him, which is pretty good. An off chance that he wants to start going for Muddy Waters. Now, one thing that he could do right here. Now, I don't know the set. for the Feeny, of course. He could protect and go for the Never-Ending Nightmare into my Tapu Koko, which could potentially take it out, especially if it's based off of Shadow Claw. And the Bewear really is doing absolutely nothing right here. Nothing. I was basing this off of a Snorlax or a Cortana lead. So he's got me right here. He really does have me right here. Other than Koko right here. So I'm going to bring my Muck right here on this slot. I think the Feeny protects. The Feeny has to protect, right? Actually, he could bring in the Marowak. So I'm going to bring in the Muck right here. And I'm going to go for... no. Come on. Oh, my God. I got to stop talking so much because he's going to bring in the Marowak right here. I was going to go for a Dazzling Gleam right there. Just to get some chip onto the Feeny. The Muck covers the Marowak switch in. That's really frustrating. Because I didn't want to go for the Thunder. I wanted to go for the Dazzling Gleam. It would have got a nice amount of chip. It really would have. And if this is Specs, this could potentially take me out, but okay. That does a lot of damage. Special attack drop doesn't really matter right there. Alright, so it's not looking too good right here because I would have been able to get a good amount of chip on his Pokemon. Does anything really want to switch into a knockoff, barring the... Persian, which likely has a berry? I don't think so. So I'm going to go for the knockoff into that slot. And Koko really isn't doing much right here. Even if I went for the Dazzling Gleam, it's still not doing too much to the Feeny. Marowak's likely going to protect right here. Unless he doubles up into the Muck. Who can I bring in the back? I really don't want to bring in my Pelipper. He's going to power up his moves. I'm going to bring in a Pelipper on the slot. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. I understand nothing, but Gods is fascinating to listen to. He's going to bring in the Mimikyu. So if I went for a Dazzling Gleam, then I got to stop talking so much. So I'm going to Thunder again. So let's see what he goes for. An Earthquake. What? Excuse me? An Earthquake. Knocks out his own disguise. Alright, so I'm literally just going to stop talking. Because this is an easy game to win right here. I'm giving this person the win. Alright, so... Thick Club, of course. Alright. I just can't I can't believe this. I could have just protected Koko right there or switched it into Pelipper and then went for the knockoff, and now it was looking so good. Oh my goodness. That's really like I'm fucking pissed. Marowak with Earthquake. Oh man, Marowak with Earthquake. Okay. I don't think the Mimikyu's gonna have. I need the Koko for the I'm gonna knock off right here. I'm gonna take out the Koko. I'm gonna go into the Bewear. Let's see how well this works. If the Mimikyu has some type of play rough attack, then GG. But I mean, I'm basically climbing out of a hole right here. Snorlax is going to go for a Protect. He's going to go for a Trick Room right here. Knock off into the Snorlax. See, this is why Best of 1 sucks. Because this is all information that I'd be able to bring into a Best of 3. And then I would have been able to play... Like, number one, I screwed up the first 2 turns because I thundered when I didn't want to with my Tapu Koko because I had timed out. Because I'm talking way too much. He's going to try to get up a Belly Drum right here. Or he could switch into his Lele. Or his, I mean, not his Lele, his Feeny. What does he do? He could switch into his Feeny. He very well could do that. So if he does that, I'm actually going to go for the Poison Jab right here. Who's slower between my Muck and my... I'm going to use this right here because it's a lot better. Summary. 81 for my Bewear. I gotta... The timer is really fucking fast, man. Alright. Now we're going to start focusing. Going to withdraw the Snorlax. That was really obvious. That's why I went for the double up into the Feeny slot. So the Poison Jab's going to hit the Feeny. Should do a lot of good damage. Yep. I think the all that pummeling should be able to take out the Feeny still, and then I can superpower the following turn, but it depends on what the Mimikyu wants to go for. The Mimikyu could very well go for a... It's not going to reverse the Trick Room. It's probably going to go for a Play Rough into my Bewear. Alright. So, does this take out the Feeny? It does take out the Feeny, okay. It's really powerful. It is a really... It doesn't matter if it resists. It's really powerful. So, Play Rough into the... No, into the Muck. Okay. So, you bring in your Snorlax to protect. You go for the Play Rough into the Bewear. Alright. Let's see what happens right here. Or does he call my Protect and go for a Belly Drum? Regardless, he can't knock me out at +6. And if this is a fast Mimikyu, I should be able to outspeed with my Pelipper. I'm going to Protect right here, because this play is probably going to go for the Play Rough into my Bewear. If I pull this out, I cannot believe this if I pull this out. I play like absolute crap in this. Bear is going to go for Protect, so Snorlax not going to go for the Protect. Belly Drum. That is... I'm gonna give him a nice round of applause right there, because this man just pulled his balls out of his shorts and showed them to me. That is ballsy, because a superpower still knocks out the Snorlax. It has to have a shit ton of investment in order not to. Alright. Okay. So how many turns of Trick Room are left? 2 turns of Trick Room are left. So he's going to go for a Protect, Play Rough. Alright, so what do I do right here? I go for a Brine and switch into my Tapu Koko. If I take out the Mimikyu right here, I feel pretty comfortable winning this game with a Bewear, because then I could Superpower, Protect, and Superpower again. If I take out the Mimikyu, because my Bewear wins 1v1 against the Snorlax, regardless if it's +6. So, he's going to go for the return into the Pelipper. Okay. Did he call my switch out? Or did he just go for the Play Rough? Into the... Okay. Alright, good. So, the Mimikyu's going down right here. And then, essentially what I do is I double Protect, and then he cannot outspeed me, and I go for the double up into the Snorlax. Alright. I'm not going to say that I won this game just yet, but I should win this game. Because even at +6, he still does not knock out my Bewear. Alright. And if I bring him... So... let's see. Alright. I'm actually going to do right here is I'm going to protect my Pelipper. What I want to do right here is I want to get the superpower off into the Snorlax from my Bewear. There's no reason to protect the Pelipper. He's not going to go into the Pelipper. I'm going to go for it right here. I'm going to go for it right here because the return's not taking out the Bewear. It's not taking out the Bewear whatsoever. What I wanted to do right here is I wanted to go for the superpower, bring him below half, and then go for the Brine, which is guaranteed to KO. Because outside of Trick Room, the Pelipper will go first. I go for a Brine, and then I go for a superpower. But again, superpower is just going to take out the Snorlax anyway. So GG's, we end up winning that. So Bewear. I told everyone the Bewear, dude. You gotta Bewear. If you have a Snorlax, I'm fucking bringing Bewear. If you have a Porygon 2, I'm bringing Bewear. That thing is a tank. And I completely whiffed the first 2 turns by talking way too much and then just timing out with Tapu Koko. And I still had Tapu Koko to sack. So saving the Tapu Koko was the call. Alright, so let's get into our next game. That was insane. I had a guy in the Marines who was under me, and he was as passionate about Pokemon. This passionate about Pokemon. It's pretty cool to listen to him, dude. This game, I mean, it's more of a. I was talking to a. After one of my matches at Hartford Regionals up in Connecticut a couple of weekends ago. I was talking to one of the dads of the players at the tournament, and he was like, yeah, my son's here, player from Italy. My son's here, he's competing, and me and my friend Bernard were talking to him, and he was like, you know, my son's really passionate about this game. He was like 19 years old or something like that. And you know, we were basically telling him, you know, people think this is like a kid's game. It's not. It's not a kid's game whatsoever. Or at least this competitive aspect is not a kid's game. This is Ryota's team. And it's more of a mind game than anything. Like, you have to put yourself into a mindset. You have to build the team properly. Like, there's a lot of things that go into this, and it's more mind games than anything when you're playing. And a lot of good, like, smarts and techs when you're putting teams together. I mean, you can't just throw a bunch of Pokemon on a team and then expect it to work. It's not going to do that. Anyway, we have Ryota's team right here. The Whimsicott, the double Tapus, the Marowak again, the Crocodile, and the Celesteela. Okay, He's gonna lead the Tapu Koko. He's gonna lead the Whimsicott. Probably go for like a Z Nature's Power into my Golduck. I'm still gonna lead Double Ducks. That's not a duck. That is a Metagross. I'm gonna lead Double Ducks. I'm gonna bring Tapu Koko in the back, and this is not a team that I want to bring Bewear against. Nah. Usually, it's probably a team that I want to bring my Mach against. Just gotta watch out for that. I gotta watch out for that Crocodile. This Celesteela is gonna give me some problems as well with the lead seeds. Don't really have many answers on this team for the Celesteela other than Tapu Koko, so I'm definitely gonna have to preserve that in the back. Hopefully the rain is still up when the Celesteela is on the field. I usually dunk Celesteelas pretty well with the Tapu Koko. It's a one-hit KO with Thunder. But I'm definitely going to have to make sure that my Tapu Koko survives until then. He leaves the Whimsicott and the Tapu Koko. That was really obvious. He's definitely going to go for a Z Nature's Power into my Golduck because it's going to be priority. He's going to outspeed regardless if I Swift Swim up. So what I'm going to actually do right here is I'm going to protect Golduck, go for the Talon. That guarantees that I'm able to outspeed his Koko the following turn. And a Z... What? Communication with the other trainer is interrupted. So that's a DC on his end. My router is... No, it's not over there anymore. It's actually right there. So my router is no more than, I would have to say, 36 inches from my 3DS. And if that was a DC on my end, it would have just completely kicked me off of the Festival Plaza. So we're going to pick up a much-deserved win right there. So his lead, I mean, for whoever's watching right now, there's 4 viewers right now, and I'm not the smartest person in the entire world. Of course, I'm not a world champion or anything like that, but... essentially what he could do with that lead right there, because you have Nature's Power on Whimsicott, you lead Tapu Koko. Nature Power in general is a priority move. It's a status move on the Whimsicott. So Z Nature's Power is actually priority. It would have been able to outspeed my Golduck and get off a Gigavolt Havoc into my Golduck, and that would KO. So I was protecting against that and then going for the Tailwind so that my Pelipper can then outspeed the Koko the following turn. But I was likely going to go for Hydro Vortex into the Koko the following turn because a regular Nature Power based off of Thunderbolt wouldn't have knocked my Golduck out because it's non-stab from the Whimsicott. So Hugo has a pretty cool team. Everyone's like got so many electric types on their team that do so well against my team. I'm going to leave you to look at the team right there because I got to start picking my Pokemon right now. You'd very well see the Persian lead in front for the fake out. Also, we have priority Brave Bird Supersonic Sky Strike from the Talonflame. This is not too fun. The hell do I want to do against this? I'm gonna leave the Tapu Koko. I'm gonna bring the Pelipper, Golduck in the back. I bring the Muck. Again, I can't bring Metagross right here. 2 fire types on his team. I know I have Rain up, but in return, I can't really hit those fire types with Metagross. I'm gonna bring Muck again. Is this knockoff? Its ability to knock off. It's one of the few Pokemon in this current format that actually gets knockoff. So that in general is Mert to use Muck. So I'm gonna bring Muck right here. He's gonna lead the Persian. He's gonna fake out. Probably go for a Gigavolt Havoc from his thing. He could very well go for it into the Tapu Koko. Okay. If I were him, I'd go for the fake out into the Pelipper, break by Focus Sash, prevent a Tailwind from going up, and then go for the Gigavolt Havoc from your Magnezone into my Tapu Koko. Because my Tapu Koko cannot KO his Magnezone in return, but then I can go for a Volt Switch out into his Persian. But into what? Because nothing really wants to take that in the back, not even my Muck. I'm going to Protect there. I'm actually just going to go for a double Protect. This is my safest option. Could go for the Gigavolt Havoc through my Protect on the Pelipper, the guarantee that he breaks the Focus Sash. And then he can go for an attack the next turn with his Persian. Even a Quash. I'm going to double Protect regardless, because then he could just do that. He can go for like a Thunderbolt and fake out into the Pelipper. So at least this is guaranteeing he's not going to be able to take out my Tapu Koko this turn and break the Focus Sash for the Pelipper unless he goes for the Gigavolt Havoc through my Protect. Not the play I was anticipating whatsoever. Like, definitely not the play I was anticipating at all. Because I could get up a Tailwind right there. Easily get up a Tailwind. Alright, who do I have in the back? I have the Golduck in the back. Who does he have in the back? A lot of strong Pokemon. I have a Tapu Koko on his field. I really don't think he's going to want to switch in the thing. Persian can't really do too much against my Tapu Koko. I'm threatened heavily by the Magnezone, so I'm actually going to go for a Volt Switch under the Magnezone. And then I'm going to go for a Tailwind right here. So that I'm guaranteed to outspeed. Following turn. Okay, that's fine. Again, I can actually just go for the Volt Switch and then the Brine the next turn to the... Okay, again, that's perfectly fine. Basically neutralizing the damage from Life Orb right here. So that's a smart play on his side, because even if I had gone for a Volt Switch into the Persian likely wouldn't have been knocked out. And then he's able to bring in his Melodic, which he does, and then he gets a parting shot into whatever wants to switch in right there. So the Tailwind's going up. Okay, cool. So I can go for... So, unless he, again, has Gigavolt Havoc, he's not going to be able to take out my Tapu Koko. Now, Scold in the ring would be able to take me out, but I think the Melodic's going to be inclined to go for a switch out into the Garchomp or a Protect. So, I'm actually going to double up into the Magnezone. Thunder should be able to take it down to half, I'm hoping. And then I'm going to go for a Brine into the Magnezone, because the Magnezone's probably carrying the Sturdy ability. Melodic's going to Protect. Okay, cool. We're going to go for a double up into the Magnezone. I hope this brings it down to half. I mean, it does resist. It's close. So he's probably going to go for a Gigavolt Havoc into my Tapu Koko. I'm Focus Sash though. Nah, just go for a Flash Cannon. It should knock me out, unless he's Life Orbed. Yeah, it's not going to knock me out. Okay, cool. I have 2 more turns of Tailwind after this, so I'm going to go for the... You know what? I'm actually not going to go for the Thunder. His Magnezone's probably going to Protect. I'm going to go for a Volt Switch into the Melodic. Because I'm Pokesashed right now. My Muck should be able to outspeed the Magnezone unless it got some form of speed investment. I'm going to go for the Hurricane into the Melodic because the Magnezone is probably going to be inclined to switch out or go for a Protect. He's going to withdraw the Melodic. Let's see what he goes into. The Garchomp. Okay, that's a really good switch on his part because now he's going to go with the Flash Cannon to my Koko. So, oh, no, he's going to Protect. Okay. So, trying to stall out the Tailwind right here, but I'm still going to have one more turn after this. So, now I can go for... This is going to give me enough chip to go for a Dazzling Gleam on the next turn. Wow. Critical hit. More than enough chip that I need it. So, this play right here is completely obvious, but there's really nothing that you can go do about it. I brine the Magnezone, I take it out. Even if he protects his Garchomp, that's perfectly fine because I'm going to be able to outspeed anything that he is on the other field. Even if he brings in the Melodic the next turn or something like the... I think he had Tapu Koko as well. So he's not even going to protect his Garchomp. Maybe it's Assault Vest? But the combination of moves right here will be able to take him out. So he's going to have the Melodic in the back. What else is going to have? Well, we'll see now. Ball me? So, yep. Magnezone's going down. So, Magnezone really not providing any problems for me right there. I have to mute my mic here for a second. I have people calling. Apologies. Alright, so he has the Persian. Why did I think that he didn't have the Persian? Alright, so the rain's not up anymore. Okay. Not even sure I want to put the... No, I do want to put the rain. So I can dunk with my Golduck. Outspeed the Persian with my Golduck. So his play is obviously to go for a Fake Out into the Tapu Koko. I'm going to switch into my Muck on the Tapu Koko. Hopefully it doesn't double up into Tapu Koko with like a Skull or something like that and then to burn. I think his play is to go for the double up into the Tapu Koko. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into my Golduck right here. And then I'm going to protect right here. I don't have enough time to do something because I was on the phone, so I couldn't really concentrate right there. I do apologize. I had people calling me, so normally when people like repeat call, it's important. He's probably like, this doesn't make any sense, and I hope this doesn't fuck me up. He's going to Fake Out. I'm probably going to go for a Scold. What did he go for into the Pelipper? Okay, so he went for... If only I had Rain up right now, because I'd be able to go for an Encore into the Persian. I'm going to actually Protect right here. And then I'm going to go into my... my Muck on this slot. I wanted to switch out both of the Pokemon right there. And then switch in my Pelipper in the following turn and protect my Golduck. But you can't get everything you want. He can't really do too much right here. Basically all I'm doing is I'm trying to just stall out something so I can taunt. Okay. Perfectly fine. It's going to go for an Ice Beam. It's fine. Hopefully he doesn't get a Freeze. He does not. Great. Alright, so... essentially what I do right here is that I'm going to switch in my Pelipper. If he takes the Pelipper out, I really do not care. He's going to boost the attacking power of Scold. Alright, so if he goes for a Taunt, he can't really do too much to me right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Hydro Pump into this slot. I know this sounds really, really silly. I'm going to go for a Knockoff into this slot, but... I mean, really, what can he do at this point? Because he's going for taunts into my Golduck for some reason, and I don't know why. Because the Melodic really can't do much against me. Let's see if this is Assault Fest. It is not Assault Fest, okay. Berry? Not in range of a Berry if he is Berry. Hopefully this does not burn. It does not burn. If it did burn, that's fine. So I have the Koko in the back. I just want to see what item he has. Adrenaline Orb, okay. So definitely fully aware of the Intimidators in this format. So I'm going to go for Ice Beam right here, and there's really no reason to keep dragging this out. He's not going to attack with his Melodic into my Golduck, so I'm just going to protect my Muck so I don't get burnt. And then hopefully this Ice Beam will be able to take out the Persian, based off of the damage that the... yeah, it's not going to do too much on 0 attack IVs. This should be able to take out the Persian. Yeah, because I'm Modest Max special attack. So, Persian goes down. Great, great, great. Scold into the Muck. And, I mean, really, there's no reason for me to, like, bring in anything else. There's no reason for me to bring in my Pelipper, because then I'd be powering up his Scolds. I don't want to bring into... okay, the match is going to be 4. I didn't want to bring up the Tapu Koko onto that slot, because then I'd be giving him a chance to knock out my Tapu Koko. So, we're going to beat Hugo, so good game. And 3-0 so far, so cool. I think we're 3-0. I think we played 3 games so far. We've been recording for a half an hour. Excuse me. That first game we should have definitely not won. I definitely say that for a fact. I don't know what that person was doing with a Earthquake Marowak. I could see Earthquake, well, definitely see Earthquake on regular Marowak. because it's Stab Earthquake, so it's doing a hell of a lot more damage, and that definitely would have been able to take out my Tapu Koko, but not non-Stab Earthquake. Normally you see like the Boomerang for single targeted attacks, because with the spread damage of Earthquake, it's not doing too much damage to Pokemon on the opposing field if there's 2 of them. Unless it's like a single targeted attack, and you probably have that for like maybe Mux or something like that. Alright, so climbing up the ladder right here, we're going to find a kill from Oregon, United States, 1563. Excuse me. Drifblim, Lele team, Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Kartana, Arcanine. Standard core. Probably going to lead the Lele Drifblim and match my Tailwind, but the Drifblim really can't do too much against my Golduck. I don't even think Shadow Ball is a 3-hit KO because I do have bulk invested in my Golduck. Leaves the Tapu Koko. I can dunk it if it's not scarfed. I really do want to, just like shits and giggles, run, and especially this for singles, I want to run a Scarf Tapu Koko with Electro Ball. That'll catch a lot of teams off guard. With like HP Fire for the Torkoal Lilligant lead to knock out the Lilligants that don't have bulk invested. Alright, so what else do I want to bring in the back? Barring the Garchomp, which definitely will be brought right here for my Tapu Koko and my Muck, I'm looking pretty good. So I gotta make sure that I preserve my Golduck so I can get an Ice Beam off of that, or at least get enough chip off into the Garchomp so I can KO it with the Dazzling Gleam. So I'm gonna bring the Muck in the back, and then definitely want to bring the Koko right here, right? Yeah. This is a game that Metagross actually looks pretty good in. I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable using Metagross on this team. I think I have found a very, like, I'm very comfortable with the 5 Pokemon on this team being the Koko, the Double Ducks, the Muck, and the Bewear. Anytime I see a Snorlax or a P2, the Bewear comes. The Muck, if I see opposing Mucks, the Mucks come. If I see any Tapus, the Muck usually comes, unless it's Tapu Lele, in which I usually bring the Metagross. But the Metagross is just so threatened by Arcanines. They can Will-O-Wisp, they can Flare Blast, and it's not like a Celesteela where I could just consistently regain health with Leech Seed and leftovers. So, yep, we see the Drifblim Lele team. The Lele is faster than my Pelipper, which is obvious. I mean, you really wouldn't want to have a slow Lele on this team. Well, I mean, you usually have like a bulky Lele with some speed investment. Mine I was using on my Mandibuzz team, it was a slow one, so they can underspeed Tapu Finis and opposing Leles that still outspeed under a Tailwind. So what we're going to be doing right here is we're going to be matching Tailwinds. He's going to protect his Lele. Or he could actually go for a double up into my Pelipper. So in that case, I'm actually going to go for the KO into the Lele. I'm going to go for it. I think the Lele protects, but you never know. It could be Specs. Sunny Day! I love it! I love it! That's another tech that, oh my goodness! That tech! That is awesome! So Golduck's definitely going down right here. That foils every plan I have right now. Now, this is a best of 1 tech, at best. Because I would not fall for that in the best of 3. That is awesome! This is still going to do at least half. Not even. And Psyche is going to go to the Golduck. Yep. Golduck's going to go down right here. GG's. And it's Life Orb. Okay. So he can protect. Tailwind's going to go up at least. So I'll be able to outspeed with my Muck, but then he just protects and matches my Tailwind, and he has a Tailwind up for a little bit longer. Alright, so what do I do right here? He has enough chip that he's going to feel threatened by my Tapu Koko. I switch out my Pelipper, and then I bring in my Muck. Thinking what I do right here is that I Volt Switch into the Drifblim, because that doesn't carry Protect. I switch out my Pelipper into my... Let's see. What I was initially thinking is that I switch... You know, let's go for it. So, bring in my Muck on a slot. And then I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. He has to protect the Lele. He has to protect the Lele. Or he just doesn't give a shit and just goes for an attack with the Lele. Garchomp? Garchomp. Okay, so I was going to go for the Volt Switch into the Lele. So he's making all the calls right now, and they're the correct calls. So he's going to go for a Psychic into Tapu Koko, but it's not going to take me out. Volt Switch into the Garchomp. So, really, really great plays right now by this guy. Really great plays. And that does KO. Oh, well, it is Life Orb. Alright, so we're just going to get dunked this match. It was well overdue. Ballsy play on his part, but he was already up, so he can make that call. Because right there, what I do is I go for the Volt Switch into the Lele. I bring out my Tapu Koko, and then I bring in my Pelipper on the slide to get rid of the Sun. But then he just threatens with the Garchomp. So even if I did go for that play, he still has Garchomp in, and I can't freely switch it into my my Koko. So great play on his part. So GG's my opponent. We're definitely losing this game. There's really no way that we can pull this one out. So he goes for the Tectonic Rage into my Muck. And then, or no, you know, the Muck's probably just going to protect right here, so I might even not even go for the Tectonic Rage. So I think that's the call that I have to make. So I'm going to go for the Poison Jab into the Lele right now. I don't even know what he can have in the back. It really doesn't matter at this point because we're probably going to end up losing. Might bring in the Kartana onto the Lele slot, so if that's the case, I'm going to go for the double up into the Lele. Let's see what he does. If I were him, I would just go for the Tectonic Rage into the Muck. There's really no reason to. No, he's going to protect his Garchomp. Okay. Tailwind's still... Okay, so he's going to double protect the Tailwind away. So, good play on his part. And there's really... none of my Pokemon on my side, the Muck or the Pelipper, standard sets don't carry Substitute. And definitely not on a Pelipper, considering the fact that you have to have Sash. So, that was the end of Tailwind. And I just want to confirm. No, that wasn't the end of Tailwind. Okay. So, do I go for the same play again? Because I can go for the knockoff. And then I can go for the Hurricane. Hope for a crit on the Hurricane. Does not Z move Garchomp, which it should be. This knockoff's going to do a lot of damage. Alright, so let's see how much this Hurricane does. GG. It's not enough. Not enough at all. Muck does a Void, which the Pelipper needed to avoid right there to preserve the Focus Sash. Let's see what he has. Should be the ground. Yeah, it's gonna be ground EMZ. So we're just climbing out of the hole right here. He's gonna go for a Sunny Day again. He's gonna Sunny Day, and then he's just going to go for the Tectonic Rage. Yeah, he goes for the Tectonic Rage because knockoff's not gonna knock out from this range. Or he can call my Protect and then go for another Rock Slide. So that's what I'm going to call him on. Because really, it's my only chance of winning right now. We're down 4-2, and I have my Focus Sash broken. But this is the only play that I can really make. Okay, he's just going to go for the Tectonic Rage. So GG. Alright, so... I mean, that's what I would have done. I actually would have done that a while ago. Even when I had Tailwind up on my end, neither of my Pokemon really could do much to his Garchomp. So losing, I mean, the Sunny Day just completely caught me off guard. It's not a move that you see on Drift Blame all too much. It's specifically to counter Double Ducks. Specifically to counter Double Ducks. And I'm also trying to think, does Drift Blame outspeed the Lilligant in Sun? I don't think it does. And then Lilligant can go for Sleep Powders all around. Alright, so that's going to be GG's. I'm not going to drag this out any further. Good game to my opponent. I'm going to end up forfeiting. And that's it. So, currently 3-1 with this team. Well, on stream. Yeah, so definitely best of one tech right there. That's pretty cool, though. I think that's, I mean, just, excuse me, there's not much life in this format currently, but if I were to excuse me, run my Drifblim Lele team again, definitely would run Sunny Day because that's pretty cool tech. Literally, like, I can't think of many uses other than just to completely counter Double Duck's team. There's nothing I could have done there any better. It's only a best of 1 tech. Because in a best of 3, a regional tournament, in tournaments that you really want to do well at, I can think of 1,000 more moves that you can put on. It's over exaggerating, but a lot more moves that you can put on Drifblim to benefit your team more than Sunny Day, just to counter the Double Ducks. A pretty cool team right here. So Dragonite, I'm not going to sleep on Dragonite right now because Dragonite, especially under the, this is strictly a Trick Room team. Dragonite, I think there was 2 Dragonites at a European regional recently at the end of August and the beginning of September. So I'm not sleeping on Dragonite. Interesting to see whether or not this Dragonite has Hurricane, though, and I don't necessarily want to set up the rain for the Hurricane. If I were him, I would lead the Torkoal, protect Torkoal, set up Trick Room, and lead Mimikyu. There's nothing I can really do to prevent that because, well, I can, but how? I mean, I could lead Metagross, but the Metagross is going to be taken out by a freaking Eruption, dude. Oh, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's probably Physical Dragonite. Hurricane doesn't make sense with the Torkoal. It doesn't make sense with the Torkoal. Trying to think of how the hell do I take out that Mimikyu? I'm going to do something really stupid and YOLO. It's not like it's at a tournament anyway. I'm fearing the Torkoal leading in the front, but I'm going to bullet punch. I'm going to bullet punch and then Volt Switch onto the Mimikyu, which will be able to take it out. If he goes for a Protect Eruption, there's nothing I could do about it. It's best of 1. Maybe Bulldoze. I did not know it gets Bulldoze. I've never played I've never played a Dragonite before. Maybe Bulldoze with WP shenanigans, weakness policy shenanigans. That would be pretty cool. All right. Pretty much guaranteed Trick Room. There's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing I could do about it. Literally nothing I could do about it. This team is very weak against Fake Out Trick Room. Maybe consider like a Tapu Lele on this team. That would be pretty smart. So that I could leave Pelipper, switch in into Lele, and then Hydro Vortex. There's nothing I could do. He should Fake Out into the Coco. He should Fake Out into the Coco. Fakes out into the Metagross. So I should have double attacked right there because he's going to go for the Trick Room, but I was just kind of being a little greedy right there and trying to get some chip onto the Hariyama. Either way, Trick Room is going up right there. There's nothing. There was absolutely nothing I can do about it. So now you can just flat out Ghost DMZ. I guess it made sense to go into the Metagross right there because then I get a Meteor Mash off or something like that. Go for a Bull Punch. So he can go for the Ghost DMZ onto that slot. I do not have my Muck, which sucks. I am Assault Vest, and I do have a lot of defense investment. So I'm actually going to go for a... I don't know what to do, so... There's going to be games where you just don't know what to do. So this is going to be one of them. So at least I'm going to be able to take out the Disguise. Knockoff, probably into the Metagross. Yep. I can't protect the Metagross. There's nothing I can do on that part as well. Of course, gets a critical hit. Critical hit probably doesn't matter because the Mimikyu is just going to take it out anyway. He might have been anticipating to take out my Metagross. I'm going to take out that critical hit. Okay, so 1 for 1. Critical hit for a critical hit then. I'm going to take out the Mimikyu's Disguise. And if he goes for a Twinkle Tackle, this is probably going to be a Tapu Koko. So I'm going to be able to live this with the Sash. And then I could go for the Bullet Punch into the Mimikyu the following turn, but he's likely going to switch out into, like, the Torkoal. Alright, this should be in a Tapu Koko slot. Yep. Alright, so I'll be able to live that. So that's... I don't say it's wasted, but it kind of is. So, if I were him, I'd switch out the Mimikyu into the Torkoal. So, if he does that, I want to get some last-ditch effort chip onto the Hariyama. And then, let's go for... Nope, didn't want to do that. I want to go for... I know this is 70% accurate outside of the rain. Yep, he's going to bring in his Torkoal. But at least I can get some good damage into the Torkoal because the meta... I mean, he might go for the attack into the Pelipper, though, considering the fact that Bullet Punch wouldn't have been doing anything to the Metagross. They should do considerable amounts of damage. That's pretty good damage into the Metagross. Okay, great. Let's... Okay, do we hit the Hurricane? Because this is what I was going for. This should do at least half damage. And I hit it! Half damage to the Torkoal. No, it does... Oh, it has a berry. GG. Citrus berry. Okay. So it brings it up to half. That's what I was going for. I needed to go for the attack so that I reduce the power of Eruption. Alright, so there was 2 turns of Trick Room. 2 more turns after this. Alrighty. Bring in my Golduck. I'm going to bring in my Tapu Koko right here. I'm going to switch out the Pelipper. And then bring in my Golduck. He's probably going to go for a Heat Wave. Question is, what does this Hariyama do? Probably a knockoff into the Tapu Koko. If he doubles up into the Pelipper slot, then good for him. So, obviously, I Protect right here. This Protect might be obvious. But then, yet again, the Heat Wave's probably going to knock me out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, he's probably going to Heat Wave and then knock off into my Pelipper. Or maybe even, like, go for another type of attack. I'm going to make a ballsy call right here. Because I'm already down anyway. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, anticipating him anticipating me protecting on my Tapu Koko. I think that's asking for too much. The Heat Wave might not knock me out. Feint into the Tapu Koko. I didn't protect anyway. Let's see if the Heat Wave knocks me out. Hopefully he goes for an Eruption. He does! This should knock out Koko. It doesn't. Great! I'm going to take out the Torkoal, no more Sun, and then I get to bring in the Pelipper. And then I could double protect. But then he gets to bring in his Mimikyu. Either way, if I would have taken out his Hariyama as well instead of his Torkoal, he still would have been able to bring in his Mimikyu and then attack, have free roam to attack either one of my Pokemon and then go for another Trick Room. Although, no, he can't do that because Trick Room's ending on this turn. So I think I double protect here. He brings in his Bulu. And Bulu's probably going to set up a substitute. On this team, I feel like substitute Grassy Seed. Huh, okay. Switch Pelipper back to Koko. I don't know. I don't think that would be the call because if I was his Hariyama, I'd go for a close combat into the Golduck, and then if I was his Bulu, if I wasn't substituting, I would go for the Wood Hammer or Hornleech into the Pelipper, which would definitely take out my Koko. Do I need the Koko? I don't think I need the Koko, right? I don't need the Koko. I think that's the right call. I don't think I need the Koko right here, and then I protect my Golduck And an off chance that he doesn't attack into the Pelper slot, which would make no sense. And he goes, well, if he goes for a close combat into the Golduck and he goes for a substitute on his Bulu, it's still bad, but at least I get in my Tapu Koko for free, and then Trick Room ends this turn. So I'm going to go for a Protect right here. I don't think I need, and I get rid of Grassy Terrain, which is great. Goes for the close combat into the Golduck. Let's see if he goes for a substitute. Does this not Coco out? What the fuck am I facing right now? So I get to bring in the Pelipper. I don't think the Hurricane takes out the Bulu, does it? Okay, so what did he just go for? He went for a Dazzling Gleam. I gotta go for this. I gotta go for the Ice Beam knockout into the Hariyama. I think it should knock out the Hariyama. Unless it's Assault Vest. Mimikyu. Okay. This should still take out the Mimikyu. Ah! Faint! I should've went for a... Oh, it didn't matter if I went for a Protect right there. Oh, man. I forgot about Faint. I was completely wrong. Wow, that Ice Beam did nothing! That's definitely a Soul Fest. Let's watch the Hydro Vortex animation, shall we? He's gonna go for a close combat. Thick Fat probably. I don't know. You usually don't run Faint on a non-Assault Vest set. And I've been seeing a lot of lower ladders, at least. Flame Orb on the Hariyamas if it's Guts. Mimikyu's gone. Oh, man! Forgot about Faint. Close combat. This is definitely knocking out my Golduck. That's why you invest bulk into your Golduck. But there's no way I can win, because he just goes for a Faint. I just got beat by a Dazzling Gleam Bulu. I didn't get beat by a Dazzling Gleam Bulu. I got beat by the fact that I had no way of stopping his Trick Room. Now, if he didn't have the Hariyama on the team, I would have definitely been able to stop the Trick Room. He didn't lead the Torkoal in the front, which was great. But he led the Hariyama so he can get Fake Out, which was bad. So, I don't know. I never bring Metagross with this team. I might want to consider a Lele for Fake Out support. That would be great. Because then I would have been able to I'm not even saving that. That's trash. Fucking Dazzling Gleam Bulu. I would have been able to lead the Lele with my Tapu Koko, go for a Volt Switch, and then Psychic into the Mimikyu. Even if he wants to bring in something to switch the terrains, I still get off what I wanted to initially go for, which is a Volt Switch and a Psychic. So it's definitely something to consider, and this is exactly why you practice with your teams before you bring them to tournaments. Not doing half bad. That record is not too good, but majority of those losses are from using terrible teams. I think I'm like 7-3 with this team now, 8-3. We did bring the Bewear in the one game. We brought it in game 1, in which we decimated a Snorlax after playing like complete crap. Probably do like one more long match, 2 more quick matches on stream. I did say I wanted to do a quick stream, because I am feeling very under the weather. I'm just getting over a fever and strep throat. This is a 6th stream, so thank you for everyone that has joined me. Bloodrocks89, thank you for joining the stream. Where are you from, Bloodrocks? Just curious. Are you from Discord, Twitter? So we're taking forever to find a damn opponent. Let's do a little Guzman here. Yeah, there we go. We're in the 1500s, but we keep on getting these 1400 players. Maybe there's not anyone playing right now. I'd much rather play 17 to 1800 players. I play them better than I play 1400 players, and if I beat them, at least I get more points and get less points taken away. If I play these lower ladder players, I don't know how to anticipate, like, I don't know how to call their plays because they play so erratically, and then I lose a bunch of points because I lose. Discord, we actually practiced yesterday. I am called Rockpick. Oh, sweet, dude. So, Max. You're Max. So, thanks for joining the stream, Max. You kicked my ass yesterday. You did really, really well. This is my secret team that I didn't use against you. So he has the Arcanine, Tapu Koko, Tapu Fini, the Snorlax, the Porygon 2, and the Celesteela. I am definitely bringing the Bewear. Wonder if he's gonna know the power of Bewear. He could very well lead the Porygon 2 and the Fini. That would definitely threaten my Bewear. So I'm gonna lead the Tapu Koko, the Bewear. Bring the Muck in the back, potential to knock off Poison Jab, the Tapu Fini, and the Koko. Just gotta watch out for the Arcanine and the Celesteela. I'm not feeling too comfortable to bring the Tapu Koko right here. So I'm gonna bring the Pelipper for Rain, Thunder support, potential switch in, and to protect my Fluffy Bewear from super effective damage from that Arcanine. Could lead the Arcanine and the Porygon 2 as well. Then he could go for a Will-O-Wisp Trick Room, which would kind of make sense. So let's see what he goes for. I could speculate all day as to what he's going to do, but Arcanine, Tapu Koko, that's a safe lead. So he's going to Intimidate on my Bewear. I'm not inclined to stay in right here at the Bewear anyway. What I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go for a... Doesn't make any sense for his Arcanine Protect. So I'm going to go for a Thunder into the Arcanine because it's the thing that threatens majority of my team. And I'm going to switch into my Pelipper right here. This should be able to take out the Arcanine in one shot. And hopefully he goes for like a Flare Blitz into my Koko, which would not be able to take me out. And then like a Thunderbolt into my Bewear. Because that would bring me down the Sash. And then I'd be able to preserve my Pelipper. And then I could Volt Switch the following turn with my Koko. Or I could Protect the following turn with my Koko and then go for a Tailwind and then just get a potential switch into something else in the back. Let's see what he wants to do. Thank you for joining the stream, Max. Appreciate it, dude. Pretty late in Germany right now. It's almost 11 o'clock at night in Germany. So no switch outs on his part. He's going to go for a Volt Switch into the Koko. Okay, great. And then the Arcanine is going down right here. I shouldn't say that. I really should not say that because my Arcanine, my careful Arcanine, lived a Gigavolt Havoc and Electric Terrain from Paul Chua's Koko. Although his Koko is timid. Mine's modest, max special attack, and Life Orb. So I think the combination of the items and the move right there actually does more damage than a Gigavolt Hammock from a timid Tapu Koko. So he's thinking about what he wants to bring in right here a little bit. Arcanine's... It should go down. So cross your fingers. Pray to the Pokemon gods, RNGesus, that we knock out this Arcanine. If we don't knock out the Arcanine, it's not the end of the world, but if I bring it down, I'm gonna bring it down a lot. And he's gonna bring a Celesteela. Arcanine's done. Yeah, he's donezo. Dunzo Washington. Thing is, if he has Timid Tapu Koko, that's enough chip in order to Dazzling Gleam KO me. I didn't recognize as to whether or not he is Life Orb. I don't think I did see Life Orb chip before he had Volt Switched out. So I don't think I'm in range for a Dazzling Gleam. I'm in range for a Life Orb Dazzling Gleam. I know that for a fact from a Timid Tapu Koko. And he didn't get to touch my Pelipper, which is great. Because I'll be able to outspeed this. Even if he goes for an electric type attack from his Tapu Koko into my Pelipper, I'll be able to get a Tailwinds up. I could protect my Tapu Koko, match his protect, And then I'll be able to outspeed both of his Mons on the other team, and then I can go for a Thunder into a Celesteela. I don't know if he has a Garchomp. Does he have a Garchomp on the team? I forget what he had. No, he had the Arcanine, he had Tapu Koko, the Celesteela. It's gonna bring his Koko. Get a Lele too? No, Feeny, Kartana, Porygon, and the Snorlax. I don't think, without a Porygon, I don't think you brought the Snorlax as well. Regardless, you don't want to switch it into a Thunder. So I'm gonna protect, and then I'm gonna set up a Tailwind right here. Let's back up here for 1 second, so I don't blow anything right here. Yep. Wow, he has nothing on his team that could take electric type attacks. Tapu Koko runs through this team. So, safest thing I could possibly do right here is protect my Tapu Koko, because the other Tapu Koko is likely timid. I'm in range for something from this Tapu Koko. Probably go for like a Thunderbolt into the Tapu Koko, and the Celesteela is probably going to end up switching out into maybe the Snorlax, the only thing that could possibly take a Thunder. And, or just protect. I'm going to match protect right here, if he protects. And I'm going to get up a Tailwind. Volt Switch. Probably into the Pelipper. If he knocks out my Pelipper, that's actually better for me, because then I can bring in my Muck. And then if he brings in a Snorlax, I can knock off a Snorlax, so that would be even better. And if he switches in his Tapu Koko onto that Celesteela slot, then I'm not knocking it out with a Thunder anyway. Let's see what he brings in right here. Enough speculating. He is taking a really long time to pick his Pokemon in the back. I mean, you only have one other thing you can switch into. He would have a hard time playing with that 5-minute timer in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'm not looking forward to that either. Alright. Only have one other Pokemon to switch into, buddy. Let's get this ball. Get this ball rolling. Is he DCing? Not on my end. I made sure of that, Feeny. See what the Celesteela goes for. It has to go for like a heavy slam or something like that, or like Koko, or like a lead seed. Did he call my protect on my Koko? He called the protect on my Koko? There's really no way to call that protect on the Koko, though. It doesn't really make any sense. Because you... So who did he lead with again in the front? Yeah, there's no way to tell that I'm modest Tapu Koko, and then you feel comfortable enough that you'd be able to outspeed my Koko to pull that. Because we could have very well have been speed tying turn 1. So, that doesn't necessarily make any sense to me. Perfectly fine with me. I could bring in my Muck, and then I could just go for a Poison Jab into the Feeny, and then the Thunder into the Celesteela. I'm not. Question is, he could protect Celesteela and go for the Moonblast with the Feeny, or he can just protect with the Feeny and go for the I gotta call this correctly, because he could protect either one, considering the fact that he didn't protect the previous turn with the Celesteela, which is a really good call on his part. So I'm gonna go for. I'm going to go for Thunder right here, and then knock off right here. Hopefully I'm covering both options. Alright, so he's not going to protect the Feeny. I think going for the Thunder into the Feeny was the better... What? That does not knock out the Feeny? Holy moly. So he's definitely taking out the Tapu Koko right here. Did I just blow this? Wow. That has to be max like special defense on the Tapu Fini. That has to be an unnecessary amount of bulk on the Tapu Fini. Wow, that's a bulky Tapu Fini. Alright. So he protects next turn with the Celesteela. I still have the all-out pummeling. He's been playing extremely odd. But I did not expect the Tapu Fini to survive whatsoever. turns of Tailwind I still have left? I need to knock out something this turn. I have 2 turns of Tailwind still left. Do you think the Celesteela feels threatened right here? I don't think it feels threatened. So I think it doesn't protect. And it goes for Elite Seed onto my Bewear. I need to go for the knockout into this Feeny. If it's that specialty defense, it has to have... No, he goes for a protect. He's playing so oddly. Really, really odd calls. Not protecting in front of a Coco. See, this is why I have such a hard time playing against lower ladder players. They make plays that really don't make much sense. And it's hard to call that. That protect does make sense, so I give him that. Because the all-out pummeling makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's really the only item that you would really want to put on Bewear, so I just kind of wasted it right there. Hopefully the Poison Jab... This shouldn't take out the Bewear. Poison Jab missing right there literally loses me the game. Because the Poison Jab should have been able to take out the Feeny in that range. And then I still superpower the Celesteela the following turn. Coco comes in. And the Coco still can't take out my Muck, and then I Poison Jab that. Is the Feeny Protect right here? I'm going to have to call the Feeny Protecting. Because it's not choiced. I'm going to go for the double up into the Celesteela. I want to see if the superpower knocks the Celesteela out. It doesn't. Okay, so going for the double up kind of does make sense right there. Hopefully, I think if I were him, I would go for the Moonblast into the Muck. Nah, the Muddy Water makes more sense. Oh, he's just going to go for a Moonblast. Is it going to be where? Yeah, so definitely lower ladder player. That does, because going for the Moonblast into a Bewear that really can't do much to the Tapu Koko and or the Feeny doesn't make much sense whatsoever. I don't think he goes for a Protect on his Koko. He's been playing very erratically. Because what I would do against a notable player, I would match the Protect on the Koko because hey, he could just go for a Protect on the Koko and then a Moonblast into my Muck, and the following turn follow up with a Thunderbolt. So I don't think he protects right now. I would protect if I would. I would protect Koko and go for the Moonblast with the Feeny right now. You know what? Let's see if he does it. But if I call his Protect, shouldn't I go into the Feeny? Thing is, I want to go into the Koko right now because the Feeny does less damage than the Koko. I'm going to do it. But I think he protects... No, Feeny protects. Yeah, see? Plays really don't make much sense. Gigavolt Havoc. So if this is Timid Tapu Koko, I don't think this knocks out my Muck because I do have a lot of special investment. So let's see if this takes me out. If my Arcanine can survive this, my Muck should be able to survive this. Although this isn't my EV spread. I don't think it matters anyway because he could just follow up the next turn with the Tapu Fini. All right, well, I mean, good game. The plays really didn't make much sense. So we're gonna play one more game, kind of redeem myself from that one. And again, like I can't say it enough. That's why I cannot stand best of ones, and I think best of one is not a true testament of a player's skill level. Not saying like I'm the best player in the world. I am by far the best player, but when I go to tournaments and I'm playing in the best of three, I do really, really well. I have never gone, I think, under a 5-3 at a major tournament. I've gone 5-3, 6-2. I think the best I've done was 6-2 out of like 7 regionals that I've gone to. It's because when you're doing a best of 3, you can gauge your opponent's play style. You know, kind of see how they play, the predictions that they make, the sets that they have, and all the information and the information about how they play really does help you out in game 2 and 3 if you do lose the first game. So we're going to be playing a Jolteon and an Espeon. So we have an Eevee lover right here. Don't know why he's not running Extreme Evo Boost then. So the Arcanine, the Jolteon, the Espeon, the Garchomp, the Tapu Lele, and the Drifblim. Now, if this Drifblim has Sunny Day, then just end me right now. Just fucking end me right now, because I would have literally played at least like 5 teams in this stream that completely hard counter Rain. I don't think Rain is that important that you need to hard counter it. Like, have 2 Pokemon that completely hard counter it. Just do what I do. If you play Sun, you're fucked. You can't do anything against it. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so I really see no reason not to lead Double Ducks right here, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the Tapu Koko in the back, because you should never not bring the Tapu Koko. And, is this a game where I want to bring Metagross? Is it really? Is it? Actually, it's not half bad. Because it's good against the Espeon, it's good against the Jolteon, it's good against the Lele. Well, this is our last match. Let's bring it. It's Assault Vested. It could take special attacks. It's got a lot of special attackers. Got to watch out for that Garchomp. But I got 2 Pokemon on my team that can take care of the Garchomp. I prefer the best of 3 too. Roy can run random gimmicks that nobody's prepared. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Max. You understand. That's why, like, when I'm going to a PC or something like this I mean, my team right now is strictly a best of 1 team. I don't even have Scold on my Golduck. I have Hydro Pump. That's it. So again, if he has Sunny Day, good game. All right, Psychic Seed's gonna activate. Question is, what does his Lele do? He could very well go for a Protect, match for Tailwind, but then I could just go for a Hydro Pump and then match his, well, Hydro Pump the following turn and then match his Tailwind this turn. You can't. Could be Specs Lele. Could very well be Specs Lele. So this is another thing. Like, if this is Specs Lele, okay, then if he leads this again, then I'm like, okay, I can go for the Hydro Vortex in that slot. I really, you know, there's nothing he can really do about that. But now I'm like, does he go for the Protect? And I'm not going to be able to find that out until I actually do it now, won't I? So that's what I'm going to do. It should be able to get a nice amount of chip, and then I'm just going to go for the Tailwind in the following turn. I could just go for a Hurricane with my, well, no, he's not going to protect him. Maybe he is Specs. So this Hydro Vortex should be able to take him out. So he's going to go for his own Tailwind. So the Lele should be going down right here, unless it's like max HP, max special defense, careful. Not careful, but calm. So let's go. For whatever reason, I feel like I'm never confident about taking out certain Pokemon with Hydro Vortex. It does. Okay. I don't know why. Critical hit, I don't think it mattered. I really don't think it mattered. Alright, so it's going to be a 4v3 Focus Sash intact. And Golduck really isn't, I mean, not the Golduck, but the Drifblim really isn't doing too much right here other than going for Shadow Balls. Will-O-Wisp really isn't doing too much either. He can go for a Sunny Day, but I don't think he's going to have it on his team. If anything, I think he would have... Wait, no, he has an Arcanine in the back. I was going to say... No, he doesn't have an Arcanine. I was going to say, maybe like Rain Dance makes more sense on this Drifblim, considering the fact that he has a Jolteon, and he can go for a... He can go for a Thunder in the rain. What do I do right here? I'm gonna go for a Hydro Pump. YOLO, dude. This is like strictly YOLO right here. I'm gonna go for right here. This is a Scarf Jolteon with acrobatics. What? Wow. Okay, and that doesn't take it out. No, it is. Oh. Okay. All right. I was gonna say, I thought the Jolteon went for acrobatics. I was like, excuse me? Is it scarfed? And I was thinking, and we get the confusion. There we go. We're having a good old time right now. Acrobatics. Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring in a Tapu Koko right here. This is an easy Dazzling Gleam and Hurricane. There's no way that he goes for a... There's there's no way that he goes for a... I mean, how much did that acrobatics do? Let me see. So 75... So a total of 150 damage. Another acrobatics. If it gets a high roll, it can knock out my Pelipper. But I'm just going for a Dazzling Gleamer here, and then I'm just going to go for another Hurricane. Let's get this going. Let's get this party started, because acrobatics really isn't... It's not going to be doing too much to my Tapu Koko. Going to go for a Shadow Ball into the Tapu Koko. Okay, that's fine. Does a good amount of damage. Gets a special defense drop. And the Jolteon, is he double upping? Or you've got to be kidding me. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, dude. That's bullshit. Oh my goodness, that is terrible. So apparently I don't know Jolteon's speed. I didn't think it was going to be faster than Tapu Koko, but then yet again, mine isn't timid. Every time I run Tapu Koko, I always run timid, so I always forget that. I'm going to go for the Bullet Punch right there, and then... So which one do I go for the Bullet Punch into? Because... I'm going to go for the Brine right there. Bullet Punch will be able to take out the Jolteon. And Brine will be able to take out the Drifblim. And unless that's the... I think he had a Garchomp, right? If he has the Garchomp in the back, I think we might lose. Because I can't protect my... Low ladder tech. So... Bullet Punch. Okay, alright, good. So... Protect, Tailwind, Acrobatics, Shadow Ball. Alrighty. And the Brine's going to go into that slot. Okay. Both of our Tailwinds are going to peter out. Okay, if he has the Garchomp in the back, that's a good game. I can't beat that. Even if I brought my Muck, I wouldn't be able to... I wouldn't have been able to beat it anyway. So essentially what I have to do is I have to go for a Meteor Mash right there. Does he protect his Garchomp and go for a Tailwind? There's no need to. Garchomp outspeeds both of these Pokemon. So I'm doubling up into Garchomp. He should Tectonic Rage right now. What is he doing? He should be Tectonic Raging. Maybe he's just going to go for an Earthquake? Oh my god, that does so much damage. Why do I keep getting crit? I think I live this Earthquake if I didn't get crit. Because I'm Assault Vest. Bullet Punch can KO Drifblim. I knew it can KO Drifblim, but I wasn't too concerned about the Drifblim. Because I'm Assault Vest, so Acrobatics isn't doing too much, and Shadow Ball wouldn't have been doing too much, but of course it just completely bypasses it. I'm telling you right now, I can't beat lower ladder players. I cannot predict their plays. And if I can predict their plays, they keep on getting crits. There we go. Miss a Rock Slide. Miss the Rock Slide. Miss the Rock Slide. Aw, he hits the Rock Slide. GG. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Bullet Punch Tailwind. I could have very well went for that, but we're facing a lower ladder player, so he's probably going to be inclined to go for a Thunderbolt into my Pelipper anyway, and I wouldn't have been able to get up the Tailwind. But then I could just Bullet Punch the Jolteon the following turn. I guess that play kind of makes more sense. I don't know. I really can't beat the goddamn lower ladder players. Playing one more. I'm going to play one more. Alright, so we're going to think a little bit. I'm going to tell you right now. We play one more lower ladder player. I am thinking about every single move that I'm going to make. Get a little more Guzma up here. Finally. An okay ranking. So, Mimikyu, Snorlax. Wait. This is the team this is pretty much the team that I was running yesterday against you, Max. What was the difference between the two teams that I was running? I can't remember exactly what the team was. Hold on, I'm actually going to look this up real quick. Let me see here. I lead double ducks against this anyway. Alright, come on. Come on. I can't find it. I'll find it after this match. Yeah, but this is pretty much the team that I was running yesterday. Alright, so he could go for Mimikyu Snorlax. I think Pheromosa and Feeny is a better lead. Bring the Muck in the back. If he does lead the Feeny and the Pheromosa, hopefully it's high jump kick Pheromosa. I protect my Golduck and I set up a Tailwind, and then I Hydro Vortex the following. Well, no, I don't even need to do that. I could just go for an Ice Beam. Snorlax Mimikyu. Okay, that's fine. Do you think the Snorlax... I think he doesn't protect Snorlax and then he goes for a... he Belly Drum Trick Rooms because he's giving me an option right here. I could very well stop Trick Room from getting up. Maybe not, actually, because I don't think Hurricane will be able to knock out the Mimikyu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Hydro Vortex into the Snorlax, and then... Let's see. I'm going to go for Hydro Vortex into the Snorlax. Bring him down to Berry. And then Brine. Let's go for the Slam Dunk. Alright, we lose this game already. I don't really think there's much need to protect the Snorlax. Maybe I have like a different mindset. I think I have too many things that go through my mind when I'm playing, because at least to me, if I'm running Mimikyu Snorlax, I think it's more important to stop the Trick Room from getting up than taking out the Snorlax, because if the Trick Room goes up, Snorlax just completely dunks my entire team, regardless if you get a Belly Drum up or not. So I don't think it really makes much sense to go for a Protect, but I mean it works out for him, so good for him. And a Trick Room goes up. So I mean I pretty much just lose this game right off the bat. There's nothing I can really do about that. Again, best of 3. I know he now has Protect, and then I could just compensate for that. Oh, I didn't bring Bewear. What am I thinking? Come on, Jim. What did I say? I always bring Bewear against this. So now he Belly Drums. He's probably going to go for a Never-Ending Nightmare into my Golduck. To knock out the Golduck, though? I think it does. So I'm going to bring in the Muck on this slot. And then I'm going to go for a Hurricane Confusion on the Snorlax. See how well this can do. No, he's just going to go for a return. Huh. Okay. I'm going to get the Hurricane off into the Snorlax. It's going to bring it down the... No, it doesn't bring it down to Berry. Okay. Shadow Claw. Huh. I think the Snorlax protects right here. Mimikyu really can't do much against me, and I'm going to go for a Protect onto the Pelipper. I don't necessarily know what he wants to do. He might switch something in on the Mimikyu slot and then save Trick Room for later, because he does have his Disguise still up. No, he's just going to keep it in. Okay. See if the... Snorlax definitely not going to Protect right here, because it would have done it before me. So he gets a Belly Drum off. He's going to be extremely low. That was a good play on his part, because I can't knock off his Berry, so this knockoff isn't going to be doing as much. Shadow Claw into the Pelipper. Okay. Could have just doubled up into the Snorlax, so that's really risky on his part. That's extremely risky on his part. Alright, so I'm going to go for the double up into the Snorlax. Because... let me see here. Could go for the recycle. My Poison Jab's going to go first. Should bring him down to half, and then I go for a Brine. Let's see if this works. I think a Brine's a better call than the... Mimik유's going to be coming back. Alright. Arcanine's going to come in. It's a good call. It's going to get Intimidate down on my Muck. He's probably going to recycle right here. Anticipating my Protect coming from my Muck. He goes for the recycle. I'm kind of stalling out his Trick Room turns. Alright. Let's see how much damage. I think he's out of range, taking him down to half with the Poison Jab, unless I get a critical hit. Just there. Just there. Hopefully I'll bring him down to range of a poison. Take him out with a poison. No. I don't think he gets KO'd by another turn of poison after this either. He's going to return it. He basically is forced to recycle right here. And this is the last turn of Trick Room. He's forced to recycle. He is definitely forced to recycle. He might call that and then go for the Latch Disc effort. Double into the Lax again. I don't know if I want to do that though. Because then I'll be able to outspeed the next turn. I'm going to go for the double up into the Arcanine. Call me crazy. Arcanine's going to switch out. It might be the Mimikyu coming back in. Yeah. Alright, let's see what the Snorlax wants to do. It's going to go for another recycle. Trick Room turn ends this turn. And then I could take out the Mimikyu. Poison should be able to take him down into range where he's half. And then I can go for a Brine in that slot. And then Poison Jab into the Mimikyu. Alright. It's good damage right there. Should bring him down to half. It doesn't bring him down to half? Alright. So we're in a predicament right here. Because he could protect the Snorlax and then go for a Trick Room. But then also what he can do is he can go for a Shadow Claw into the Pelipper and then an attack into the Muck with his Snorlax. I think that would be a better call on his part. Do you think he double protects? Let's see what he does. So is this going to be... Let's see if this is a... There's no way that this is going to be a Z Destiny Bond. Alright. So the Pelipper is going to go down right here, but that's fine. Let's see if he goes for another recycle. I mean, Poison's going to, like, keep counting. I'm going to get a Poison Jab off. Goes going for another recycle, okay. Alright. Bringing in a Coco right here. It's a close match regardless. Feeney's going to come in. Alright. I'm going to reset the Intimidate on the Muck. The Golduck is more useless than the Muck is. If he goes for another recycle, I can Encore him into recycle. And then... if I were him, I would protect the Feeny and then go for another recycle, I guess, with the Snorlax. What do you think, Max? Give me some advice right here. think you were right about doubling up into the Snorlax. I think the Feeny protects, and then the Snorlax could go for a return into the Coco. I'm going to go into the Feeny. Let's see. Feeny's going to withdraw. Does he have Guard Chomp on his team? Arcanine, okay. At least going to be able to get off... I'm going to reset the Intimidate. I'm going to be able to get off a good amount of chip damage into the Arcanine. See what the Snorlax goes for. If he goes for another Recycle, I can Encore him. That's a bulky Arcanine. That's like ridiculously bulky Arcanine. And I'm bringing Muck right here. Okay, what does the Arcanine go for then? Return into... Alright, into the Golduck. Snorlax is so fat. Don't have Rain up, which kind of sucks, because now I can't Thunder freely into the Snorlax. I think the Snorlax protects, honestly. I'm going to double up into the Arcanine. Let's see. Alright, we called the Snorlax Protect. We're going to double up into the Arcanine, see if the Arcanine has Will-O-Wisp. Probably going to attack into the Coco. It's going to go for a Bulldoze, alright. I still should be able to outspeed the Snorlax with the Coco, though. I don't think my berry's been procced yet. Arcanine should be going down right here. He is able Assault Vest. Okay, that's why the Volt Switch didn't do as much. I'm gonna have to Thunder outside of he recycles right here with the Snorlax. So I'm going to have to go for the dunk into the Snorlax. I'm going to double up into the Snorlax. We hit the Thunder. It does not take out the Snorlax, but the Poison Jab should. Moonblast probably into Coco. Yep. Alright. That is okay. Poison Jab should be able to take out the Snorlax. I don't think my berry's been procced yet. And a Moonblast should not be able to take me out unless it specs. There's no point in thinking about it. Let's go for the Poison Jab. Moonblast. Oh my goodness, we live. I think we should be able to take another Moonblast as well. Whew. Unless he gets a high roll. We need to survive. We need to not get a high roll, and we need to not get a crit. I think that's specs based off of the amount of damage it had done. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, I have to hit Feeny. Moonblast, it's definitely specs. Come on. Muck! Oh! He gets a high roll. From I think specs Feeny on my Muck, it's like 52 to 54% chance to do half damage. Ah, that's so shitty. Oh my goodness. I don't think I played particularly bad in that one. I'm actually going to save that one and go back to that to see if I can make better plays. I think taking out the Snorlax earlier on was probably the better call, because at the end of the game I was so focused on having to take out the Snorlax and doubling up on it, because if I didn't, it was going to go for another recycle. I made a couple of good calls in that game. I don't know. I can't necessarily be completely mad about how I played in that game. But Muck just couldn't pull it through. I think I'm going to have to increase the special bulk on this Muck, because it's been dying to a lot of special hits a little too easily. So I'm probably going to end up increasing the special bulk on this. I know you were running an Assault Vest Muck on Max, so that's not something I'm probably going to consider, but definitely increasing the special bulk in this Muck. A +6 Snorlax is useless if you have the pressure up on it. It is, because I was basically forcing it to go for a recycle, but it would have basically gained all of his health back, and I wouldn't have been able to take out the Tapu Fini with a Thunder from my Tapu Koko if I had hit it. So I don't know. AV Muck is great. Maybe later in the season, I'll try that out, like at a PC or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. We had a great streak in the beginning there, against some pretty good players. I think like 1,600, 1,500 players, and at the end here playing like 1,400, 1,500 players, and just getting completely caught off guard by some of the sets and plays that they were doing. But that last match was a pretty good one, so I'll give it to my opponent. So good game. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Thank you for everyone that had joined me. See you, Max. Thanks for joining and stopping by the stream. Catch you all maybe some other time. I don't really have a stream schedule or anything like that, and I am sick, so I'm probably going to go lay down. Peace.